Week 10 around the NFL, and let's get right to the video. Okay, so we are going to start off with the Thursday night game, Indianapolis against the Tennessee Titans. This game was not as close as I expected. It was close in the beginning-ish, then Indy broke away for the win, which gives them the top of the division. And yeah, as you can see, the Titans were winning in the first half, but then Indy just shut them out in the second half. Ryan Tannehill went 15 for 27, 147 yards, and one touchdown pass, which is all right, but it does not even compare to Phillip Rivers' 29 for 39, 308 yards, and one touchdown pass. And rushing yards, Derrick Henry went way more than Hines, of course, and not much going in with the receiving, except Pittman had a very big day with 7 receptions and 101 yards. So that is it for this game. Now let's go to the next one. Sorry, I'm using my... Okay, let's scroll down to the beginning. Okay, so we have... Let's start off with Cincinnati-Pittsburgh. So this one, no one expected this to be close. I honestly think it was closer than I expected. I expected it to be like 40 to like 0 or something. But yeah, of course, feel bad for Joe Burrow. Steelers are pretty loaded. We have Joe Burrow going 21 for 40 with 213 passing yards and 1 touchdown, and Ben Roethlisberger going 27 for 46 and 333 passing yards with 4 touchdown passes. And yeah, Johnson had a big game. Higgins had a big game. Yeah, Pittsburgh had it from the start. Okay, now let's go to San Francisco, New Orleans. This game was an interesting game. Of course, the main story is Drew Brees getting injured. Yeah, I expected New Orleans to win with San Francisco not having Jimmy G anymore. Well, he could come to New England next year, but San Francisco started off pretty good. Then New Orleans scored 17 in the second quarter. Nothing really in the second half, except for expanding the lead for the Saints. Drew Brees didn't play the full game, as you can see, 8 for 13, 76 yards with 1 touchdown. Nick Mullins played pretty good, actually, 74 for 38, 247 yards, and 1 TD, but big takeaway, 2 interceptions. Kamara played huge, of course, with Jameis Winston, a pretty bad quarterback coming in. And now let's go to Seattle and LA. This game, I expected Seattle to pour it on, but ever since they lost their first game, people have been figuring them out. And yeah, Russell Wilson played pretty bad like he did against Buffalo. Jared Goff played very well, and yeah, did not expect this, as you can see. Oh, ESPN actually expected them to win for a bit. Yeah, Seattle looked pretty good in the beginning, then fell apart. And now we have the big game, Arizona Cardinals against the Buffalo Bills. Okay, this was a crazy game. Of course, you all know it as the Hail Mary with Hopkins. We'll actually go show this play right now.
Out of the pocket. 7 seconds. 6 seconds. Murray heaves it downfield. It is. Oh, it's caught. It is caught.
And yeah, we have a box score of Josh Allen played a very well game. 32 for 49 and 284 passing yards, 2 touchdown passes, but 2 interceptions. Kyler Murray had more rushing touchdowns. Of course, the big take, his 1 touchdown pass was the Hail Mary. 22 for 32 and 245 yards. And yeah, Josh Allen had a lot of rushing yards, actually. Cole Beasley had a huge game. And of course, Hopkins had a huge game. And yeah, the Hail Mary was a huge play, crazy play. Cole Beasley also had that one-handed grab that was huge. And yeah, this game was crazy. Game of the week by far. Now we have the Dolphins-Chargers. The rookie. I don't have much to say about this game. I didn't really watch it, but let me just look at the win probability. Yeah, Miami was always expected to win throughout the game. Miami could win the division. I think they're going to win the AFC East. So we have Justin Herbert with going 20 for 32 with 187 passing yards with 2 touchdown passes and 1 interception. Where Tua did not play as good as Herbert, at least statistically, other than not having any interceptions yet. And he went 15 for 25, 169 yards, and 2 touchdown passes, and not much going on around that. Okay, let's scroll up. Vegas, Denver, it was close in the beginning. See, as you can see from the box scores, very close in the beginning of the game. Then in the second half, LA broke away. Drew Lock played very bad. 22 for 47, 257 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, where Derek Carr played pretty good. And Melvin Gordon did meh for Denver. But Josh Jacobs, 2 touchdowns. And yeah, let's see. Raiders were always expected to win, except there was a bit where it was coming close to Denver, then they broke away. Next game. Carolina, Tampa. It was very close in the beginning. For a second there, I thought the Panthers were going to win, but huge second half by the Buccaneers, mainly around Teddy Bridgewater getting injured. That's probably how they broke away. Tom Brady went 28 for 39, 341 yards, and 3 touchdown passes, where Bridgewater also played good, but he got injured, of course, with 18 for 24. 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And, yeah. And let's go. The New York Giants. I honestly think Daniel Jones is not as bad as people say. 27-17. And he had a rushing touchdown, didn't trip this time. So the box score shows Philadelphia almost came back in the third, but couldn't quite do it. And Carson Wentz went 21 for 37, 208 yards, where Daniel Jones went 21 for 28, 244 passing yards, and yeah. I think the Giants are going to win the NFC East. And let's go. The surprise game, Jaguars-Packers. This game was closer than everyone expected. Of course, Gardner Minshew not playing. So Jacksonville had the upper hand for a bit, but then Green Bay just finished it off. Wow, this really shows Green Bay is not that good. Okay, so whatever the Jaguars quarterback is, went 18 for 35, 169 passing yards, 1 touchdown pass, and 1 interception, where Aaron Rodgers played pretty good, actually. 24 for 34, 325 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Adam Jones played meh, but Robinson played really good. And, yeah. Second, this arrow takes forever to load. Okay, so as you can see in the Washington football team against the Detroit Lions, we have it like this. Almost a fourth quarter comeback by the Washington football team. As you can see, Detroit started good, but Matt Prater.
In the game-winning field goal from 59 yards out. Looks like a knuckler, and it's through. Lions.
There we go. So Alex Smith went 38 for 55. Very good game. 390 passing yards, but I think he played better than Stafford, but Stafford pulled it off. This was the win probability. As you can see, it went crazy in the end there. Okay, let's scroll up. Houston, Cleveland. They're both bad. Browns are overrated. That was a low-scoring game, you could say. Baker Mayfield went 12 for 20, 132 passing yards. Deshaun Watson, who is on a terrible team. He's not bad. He should leave next year. Went 20 for 30, 163 passing yards, and 1 touchdown pass. Okay, there we have that. And other than that, yeah, Browns were expected to win the whole time. Because Houston, J.J. Watt, overrated. Now, my favorite game of the week, Baltimore, New England. This was definitely the surprise game. I did not expect New England to win this, even being a Patriots fan. Of course, it was raining hard. It was like a tornado or hurricane. Like, it was very crazy. So, New England has had a rough schedule, but starting to get back into it ever since Cam Newton got sick. Lamar Jackson went 24 for 34. Played good for my fantasy team, but we all know that interception, J.C. Jackson, that is when the Patriots really started rolling. Cam Newton played pretty well. Yeah, he got me the job. I had Lamar playing in one fantasy league, Cam Newton playing in the other. They both got the job done for me. Lamar, that play where let me just play that play right now where he dropped the ball on 4th down.
Jackson throwing. That's last drop with 2 seconds.
Yeah, so that was a pretty bad play by the Ravens. The best part of the game was Cam Newton's post-game outfit you could talk about. Let's go show it right now.
Cam Newton joins us. We're going to start with...
And yeah, so this game, New England had control of the whole game pretty much now. Let's go to the game that hasn't happened yet. Monday Night Football. Waiting. Let's look at this game hasn't happened yet. Minnesota is expected to win. I think the Bears are going to pull it off. They have the better record, even though Minnesota is projected to win. Just Kirk Cousins, not sold on him. Nick Foles playing pretty good football, but I'm not sold on either of these teams. But I think the Chicago Bears are going to pull it off. And that was their stats from last week. No, for the whole season. Kirk Cousins has better stats. Actually, no. And yeah, that is it for this video. Let's see what happens, and I'll see you guys week 11.